Today is October 1st, 2024, and as you can see, it was not a very good day for my portfolio, nor was it for the NASDAQ, down 1.4%. And I'm not mad that stocks are down. I'm never mad if stocks are down, and we'll actually get to one in just a moment that I'm actually happy is down. But the thing that bothers me the most is whenever I kind of sense that the market is going down and I'm looking for hedges, I don't seem to pull the trigger. For example, this is one hedge that I was eyeing last night or yesterday before the market closed. As you can see, it is up about $180, and I added it when it was around 500, but I think yesterday before the close, it actually tanked to around the 400s. Yeah, about 450. I could have sold it at around 900 today, doubled my money, and it would have been a beautiful hedge. But of course, I did not. And of course, this is all just shoulda, woulda, coulda. But it just bothers me that I always seem to pick out some good hedges and I just don't pull the trigger. And I think everything's just going to be all right, whatever. And it is all right. I'm not over leveraged or anything. But still, it's just a sucky feeling, And if anybody has noticed, my buying power is actually lower, and that is because I recently bought some Pepsi. Anybody that doesn't yet already know, Pepsi is actually in talks to buy Siete Foods. Anybody that has not had Siete chips yet, you are definitely missing out. Like, this is slightly off topic, but the regular salted ones, like the sea salt, I think that's what it's called. To me, it tastes like French fries, but it's like a healthier alternative to traditional chips, like what Frito-Lay sells all the time. And I don't know if it's just me or if it's my generation, but my taste buds are just not, it doesn't fit well with like junk food and the snacks that Frito-Lay sells and like Twinkies and all that. And every now and then, I'll have some Doritos. It's like whatever. If I'm out at like some party, barbecue, whatever, and there's like bags of chips, whatever, or if I'm at work and they're just providing some chips for everybody, I'll have a little bit, you know what I mean? But I don't go home and like pop open a can of Coke and eat some Frito-Lays, whatever. But Siete chips, definitely more my style. Like the most amazing chips I've ever had. And that, I don't know if that's saying much because I haven't like tried a whole bunch of foods all over the world or whatever, but yeah, they're very good. Churro and the sea salt, very good. And I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about why exactly I bought Pepsi and just some online controversy, like people speculating that Pepsi's going to do this and that, but I'll get to that later. First, I want to get to Nike. Now, I haven't had a chance to look at the Nike earnings, whatever, but I did see a headline that I think they beat earnings, if I'm not mistaken. And as usual, Nike beats earnings, but the stock tanks. And I am actually very happy about this because I did not build out a big enough position that I was satisfied with yet. And now it's back in 83 and I have another chance to buy. And so I will be looking for some more entries after like all this craziness is settling. But yeah, temporarily a little bit stretched on cash, but I should be all right. Maybe like a month from now. Now back to Pepsi. There's a lot of talk online speculating that Pepsi is going to take Siete Foods and basically strip it of everything it's basically known for. The quality of the food, how it's a healthier alternative, the quality ingredients, the quality taste, everything. It's going to completely strip it of its identity. And of course, this makes sense. If they take the brand that people have put their trust in and like slowly start replacing some of the ingredients with cheaper alternatives, maybe do a little bit of shrinkflation, cut corners here and there just to boost up the profitability, because I think they did pay a hefty price tag. If the numbers that I see on Google are accurate, I believe Siete Foods have annual sales of around 400 million, and they're buying it for 1.2 billion. So that's about a 3x sales, right? I don't know if my math is mathing, but it's about 3x sales, which is not the cheapest price. But if they can use their distribution to pump out much more siete products and relatively like keep prices stable, then definitely I do see some growth opportunity there. But I'm not completely sure, because Siete Foods is already in a lot of spots. They're in Starbucks, they're in neighborhood Walmarts. I don't think they're in super centers yet. Anybody that has a super center near them can correct me if I'm wrong, but the one that I live next to does not have Siete Foods. I don't think Costco has any, and I don't think I've seen any in Sam's Club yet. But I see them when I go to Starbucks. I see them at Publix. I see them at neighborhood Walmarts. I see them at Target, and I don't think I see them at Aldi's, and that's all I can really think of off the top of my head right now. But yeah, there's a little bit of growth opportunity, especially in like these Costco's and Sam's Clubs, where they can like mix up flavors or do like seasonal things. I think that would be pretty cool. And so if they can grow it a little bit, maybe they can bump down that purchase valuation that they had it at to about a 2x sales. But even then, that's like about fair price. And so I think it was basically slightly overvalued / fair price that Pepsi paid. But I'm not too worried about Pepsi making any big moves like that, because we live in the age of social media now. And I think that if they start changing up ingredients, start cheaping out on us, there's going to be some social media backlash, and I think Pepsi will listen. And I know I might be a little bit too optimistic. A lot of you guys are probably laughing right now, but I do think Pepsi will listen, especially if all that controversy translates into their numbers. And plus, if you're buying Siete Foods, a brand that is known for their trustworthiness, right? Their image, their ingredients, their taste and flavor, and you just completely get rid of all that. Like, what was the point of overpaying for their brand, or slightly overpaying, whatever you want to call it? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. You're just leaving the market open for a new competitor to come in. And I don't want that. I just want my Siete chips, you know what I mean? I will gladly keep paying $5 a bag. Even though it's a little bit expensive, I will gladly pay the $5, because I think the flavor and the quality is much better than a bag of Doritos. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that don't want Siete Foods and they still want the bag of Doritos. So either way, Pepsi's a win. But that is only if they keep Siete Foods different from Frito-Lay's. If Siete Foods basically becomes Frito-Lay-like quality, then it'll just be another brand that they own under their umbrella, and the market will be ripe for more competition. But overall, I have been meaning to start a position in Pepsi, because I think looking at the price action, it's kind of like a risk off play. Like, especially today when the market is down, Pepsi is up. And also, I think it was August 5th when we had the whole Japanese yen crisis that lasted like a couple hours. I think Pepsi stock was shooting to the moon. And so it's kind of like a risk off hedge type position in my portfolio. And if you've noticed my portfolio lately, it's like a super aggressive one. So Pepsi is just here to kind of like smooth things out. And I originally wanted to buy Pepsi just because like not my whole life, but like every now and then I like drinking Pepsi Zero. I think Pepsi Zero tastes better than Diet Coke. That's just my opinion. And I don't really have any interest owning Coke stock. So Pepsi was just always kind of on my radar. It was always on my watch list. But after hearing the news that they're going to buy basically my favorite brand when it comes to snacks, I just had to pull the trigger. 3% dividend yield, very stable company, risk off play. And I am not satisfied with my position yet. Of course, I'm never satisfied with my position. Even Robinhood, that's like 41% of my portfolio. I'm not satisfied with the position. But yeah, I just had to start a little bit, and we'll just keep building from here.